Um, my road to recovery, fortunately for me, was very natural in a sense that I had the realization, like when I finally accepted that I had a problem, I knew I had to do something about it. So I just decided to focus my attention on something else, which was difficult at first, honestly, because there's still that voice inside my head that kept going. As you're doing this, you're gaining this much weight. So it kind of was really hard, but I decided to really just fight it. Um, I think one of the biggest changes I made was that I stopped comparing myself to others. Basically, just improving on things that I can improve on myself, rather than comparing myself to how other people look or how other people are. It's easier said than done, but once you kind of like master it, it makes things a lot easier. And secondly, I started being a bit kinder to myself. Actually, not a bit, a lot kinder to myself. I let myself have off days here and there when I feel like, you know, I don't feel like interacting with people today. I don't, and I feel like just staying in bed and relaxing and watching a nice movie. Then that's what I do. On top of those behaviors, I kind of started to develop a more healthier relationship with food in a sense where I started to appreciate it more instead of like be afraid of it. So I decided to, once in a while treat myself, and I started looking forward to those days, and having a balanced diet was the most important thing for me because then I had something to look forward to. And at the same time, I wasn't depriving myself of the things that I love. How people helped in my progress was that they didn't make me feel any different. They understood what was going on, and they knew I was having problems, I was having issues, but they never ever pointed it out in a way that made me feel like, there was something wrong with me, which I think is really important when you're dealing with someone who has a mental or psychological disorder. Like, don't ever make them feel like they're different or there's something wrong with them in a sense. So the people around me made going back into normalcy into a normal state easier by putting an effort to understand, but at the same time not making me feel like they were trying to fix me. I surrounded myself with people who were pretty much very comfortable in their own skin, and people who understood what I was going through. So they made sure that, I ate, number one. And when I did eat, I wouldn't rush to the toilet like 5 minutes later. So simple things like that really made it easier for me to kind of keep track of what I was doing. I didn't really seek medical help like right after I realized I had an eating disorder. It was just recently that I started seeing a psychologist, mainly because all my issues, the eating disorder, depression, anxiety, it kind of messed around with quite a few of my relationships. Like I lost friends and stuff that I didn't think I would lose, but mainly because I was insecure and I lost control of my emotions quite a few times. I started seeking help when I met my current boyfriend, um, and I realized, this is something I really want to keep and something I don't want to lose. So, in order not to lose that, I have to make sure that I'm well, like I'm okay inside, and um, so I decided to take a step and just go for therapy, and that has helped a lot in terms of like my insecurities and my self-esteem issues, and it helps in a sense that I don't feel like going back to my old habits whenever something goes wrong. I I learn to kind of deal with it in a healthy way, in a way that won't put me under any harm. I think one of the main things definitely that is a difference in me is that I'm a bit more confident in myself. I stopped focusing on the way I looked and started focusing on things that could improve me as a person. Secondly, I feel like I definitely understand people better, especially those who kind of act out of their insecurities. I tend to have a better understanding of them, and I tend to take a step back and be like, oh, maybe this is why he or she is doing that. I feel that that's very rare in some people, in most people. So I feel like that's one of those things that I kind of gained from this experience. Lastly, I love food now, and I think that's really important because food isn't your enemy; it's a friend. And at times when I really feel like things are so bad that I just going out for ice cream really just saves the day. Or having a coffee, it helps a lot.